I'll be there when you're down, when you're losing your crown, till the afterglow, the afterglow. You look so great when you gotta shine. One more part of you is gone now, as you keep smiling at the crowd. Pressure is your best enemy. Spotlights show what I wanna see. Sometimes it feels like you're under attack. You just can't break free. I'll be there when you're down, when you're losing your crown, till the afterglow, the afterglow. I'll be there when you fall, when you're losing it all.
So it is Friday night, 8 p.m. Time for the Smackdown Security Detail, as we are going to watch SmackDown Live. It is me and Chris Parrish. I've got the episode ready to go here, and I accidentally flipped you off there.
Yeah, I'm just about to put it on. So, yeah, you might as well go and start it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, that's...
Okay, I got the Netflix thing popped up.
Netflix is so weird. Sometimes.
Gotta love when it's a taped episode, eh? Because we didn't see any indication that it was even... Well, we did see that it was on Netflix. We couldn't click it to just to turn it like onto the video until it started.
Yeah, it's always a fun thing. Testing out new things, and still won't let me click it. It's being weird, so we'll just continue on.
I had to close right out of Netflix.
Well, that's awesome. Netflix? Why? Just why? Is this the tariffs? Is this because of tariffs?
We'd like to wish our Americans to the South a happy 4th of July.
Thanks for tariffs.
Right now, I've got on my screen Jacob Fatu beating up Solo's group here.
Nice.
Of course, he's none too pleased about the U.S. title loss last week.
See, it still doesn't even let me do it.
And Cody Rhodes is on his way to the ring right now. And yes, SmackDown is live at the PPG, or is at the PPG Paints Arena tonight. Same home as where Monday Night Raw was. Cody Rhodes, of course, our 2025 King of the Ring. No, Pete, it is not live. It was actually taped Monday night. But as we're looking back to how Cody ascended the throne, I am looking at Cody holding the crown in the ring with his microphone. He's about to cut a promo, Pete.
All right, what is your timestamp right now?
Okay, give me just 2 seconds here. 5 minutes, 18 seconds. Pete, that's the timestamp I'm on to for you as well.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What? My sensor on my TV is so sensitive, I might as well put it on X right now. And if people want to know why I went off screen, it's because my sensor is directly behind the camera. So if I was to do what I wanted to do, you would have a remote sticking right in front of you, and I didn't figure that was professional. Cody loads. What a sign.
Are you at the 518 now, or?
Anytime I rewind, it won't hit play when I'm around there, so I might be a little behind. So we'll just continue on like we're on the same time until my sensor wants to actually decide to be normal.
Yeah.
Now, I want to know your thoughts on the new King and Queen of the Ring crowns. We're a couple years into these things. I just wanted to know kind of your thoughts on the whole thing. They look a little tacky to me.
I was going to say they kind of look like something you find at the dollar store.
Don't get me wrong. I think that there's probably a lot of money to them, but I'm just not a big fan of them.
I think I've always enjoyed the more like simplistic crowns. Like Jerry Lawler's crown, I really liked. Haku's crown, I really liked when he wore that crown. Macho Man's crown was pretty cool too.
But those were all like really like individual based crowns. Like I don't want to see that for the King and Queen of the Rings. Like I want to see the tradition of like the same person gets the same one.
Yeah.
But I just am not a fan of the current setup. Plus, it doesn't feel like you're a king or a queen unless you get the robe, you get the scepter, you go the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
I think there should have been a presentation of it. Maybe do something like golf, where last year's winner, if they're in the company, presents you with the robe.
Yeah.
I would love to see something like that.
But I've got Randy Orton walking to the ring right now.
Yes, he's just about to hit the ring on mine. What was your thoughts on their match at Night of Champions?
Totally enjoyable. While I was laid up sick for those few days there, I actually went back and rewatched the match, and I'm like, okay, this is something I can go back and rewatch and rewatch and rewatch. And in these days in this day and age, for me, that's not very often that happens for me.
Yeah.
So it is a pay-per-view. The whole show as a whole is something I can go back and rewatch and enjoy still.
Yeah, I thought the whole show was actually really well done. And I don't really think there was many lulls in the match. Obviously, you're going to have some matches that just hit you harder than the others, and you might feel like the next match might be that lull. I didn't feel that way. I felt everything really, really delivered on Night of Champions.
Mm-hmm. Randy Orton's got the microphone right now. He's about to do a promo.
Very spirited Randy Orton. Oh boy.
Now, this is something that intrigues me. We've got Drew McIntyre making his way out.
And what a shirt.
Right? I think him and Randy Orton could have a really good feud.
I kind of want to see him and Cody too. We got Drew coming in, trying to kind of talk some words to gain a little bit of rift between Randy and Cody. I wonder if this is going to work against Drew.
I'm not going to lie, it kind of has for him in the past.
Drew, I prefer a different word. Yeah. Saw that coming a mile ahead.
I mean, the way Randy Orton was standing that whole time, right?
Just even the way Drew's talking.
Yeah.
And as soon as I heard the first little mention of, oh, Cody was buttering you up, I'd be like, yeah, I know where this is going.
Yeah, I'm calling it right now. I think we get Randy Orton and Drew at Saturday night's main event.
Probably, but we do have a queen with the GM.
I still have Randy standing ringside.
As we have a Kevin Amancia coming in the chat saying, wait, it's live now? Doesn't it show up for me? Where do you guys watch? We were watching on Netflix. We had issues watching it. You did have to back out of Netflix completely, go back in, and it will be there live. So if that's where you're having some issues there, Kevin, please try that. It worked for us, and that is exactly what I had to do. And it's good to have you here. And if you're on the Facebook, please leave a little bit of an emotion, whether it's a heart, whether it's a thumbs up, whether it's a, one of those like cutie things going. I like a boo one because you saw me do that. I understand. But yeah, thanks for joining us, Kevin. Okay, I have the end of that segment. I'm gonna pause it. Let me know when it ends for you. We're not in the USA. We're actually from Canada, so we're watching this on Netflix. So if you're in the United States, you will have to watch it on the USA channel.
I just got the end of the segment.
Perfect. As soon as I heard your audio coming back, I figured that much. So perfect. And that tag match is up next. Kevin, where in the United States are you from? And also, I know you didn't come here at the beginning, but we do like to wish everyone a happy Independence Day. If I'm not mistaken, it's the 259th year. Las Vegas. Interesting.
Site of WrestleMania 41 and WrestleMania 42.
Yeah. Home of the beautiful Cauliflower Alley Club, which is actually, I believe, going down as we speak.
Awesome. It's one event I always wished I could take part in.
Oh, there you go, Bess.
Randy Orton and Drew at Saturday night's main event.
Ooh. Now this is a confrontation.
Oh.
Is it me or does Jacob have more hair on his face now? Oh, no, this sounds like it's just him and Jimmy, doesn't it? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously because Jimmy popping up.
Yeah. We have BFAB and Meechin in the ring, setting up for their triple threat match. Winner of this tag team match will be one of the 4 teams competing for the women's tag team titles at Evolution.
Okay. I was wondering how they were going to set that up because I knew about the announcement, obviously, on Raw.
Well, Kevin, please feel free if you still want to stay along. You can do as well.
Has Charlotte ever held the women's tag titles?
I'm trying to remember. I think she did with Asuka.
Oh, right. I know Alexa Bliss has had them with, obviously, Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
But since we're on the subject of women's tag teams, what did you think of what they did on Raw when they decided to put the belt on Roxanne Perez?
I think everybody saw that coming the moment Liv Morgan got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But we already talked about it, whether or not they were going to do something similar than with the Bianca, Naomi, and Jade Cargil scenario. And really, what this tells me is they're basically doing Raquel Rodriguez this big solid here. She's in the match.
Mm-hmm.
Roxanne's her partner. If they win, they become that tag team champion. Really. Yes, they're not being forfeited. This is just a replacement, but whoever wins this match will be your tag champion. So it's still a prove it ground for this new tag team in Raquel and Roxanne. So I don't dislike it, and I think it's the fair thing to do for Raquel when there's that able situation right there.
Yeah, and one other thing that I did forget that did happen, Piper Niven also replaced someone for the women's tag titles. I can't remember who right offhand, though.
Carmella.
Oh, yeah, that's right, too. It was Carmella.
Yeah. Now, I did see a graphic earlier this week that kind of did have a spoiler with the teams, but that's not where I'm going to go to right now. What I'm going to go to is there have been rumors about potentially TNA involvement in Evolution, and a team that is potential to be a part of Evolution this year is the Inspiration, aka the Iconics. So it'll be very interesting to see if there is that TNA involvement. Now, just on Thursday night, there was some, we did see Fatal Influence involved at TNA. So
I would be 100% behind that. I wouldn't expect anything less. I 100% said when Evolution's going to happen, they more than likely will have some sort of TNA involvement. I expect AAA involvement as well with some of the women there as well.
now the one piece of news we did get was that the winner of JC Jane and Jordan Grace from Evolution will compete against Masha Slamovich at Slammiversary in a title versus title match.
That's going to be a hell of a match, whoever wins. But I got to say, from those splashes there, I was pretty impressed with the athleticism of Piper Niven coming off that.
Well, Piper Niven has been one of the, I think, most overlooked athletes in the women's division. She is quite impressive, and even when Becky Lynch was the women's champion, she even took to Piper Niven and given her a title shot.
Mm-hmm.
And went to bat for her. There's a lot of people within this company that see the abilities and the talent level of Piper Niven. I just think it's really on the fans where some see it, some don't.
I mean, a lot of the people who've only seen her in the WWE don't know just how good she is. I mean, I've watched her since her days in ICW over in Scotland, and I gotta say, every time I tuned in to watch ICW, I was looking forward to her matches more so than Joe Hendry, who was also on the same roster at the time. And once again, though, we've talked in the past about Jade Cargil and how fast she's improving. BFAB is starting to show that improvement to me right now.
Well, she's been getting a lot more reps, and that is the big one. I mean, you can do all the training you want, but you really need that in-match experience
Mm-hmm.
and that crowd involvement. But still a lot of room for her to grow, but it is nice to see the evolution in her skill set evolve. Mm-hmm.
And she's in there with 5 women right now who can take care of her and just show her the way, you know?
Well, it's not even just about that. It's something that BFAB has a skill set too, and it's going to really bring a challenge too for everyone else. Like with Piper Niven, she's going to show that combination of some speed, some power. The one thing she doesn't have is that experience, but will Piper Niven find a little bit of irritation in that skill set? And then with Charlotte Flair, she has a tendency of always kind of overlooking the inexperience of talent. So this could play in a nice little power play there for BFAB.
I think Charlotte's looking to go airborne here.
Whatever you can do, I can do better. Anything you can do, I can do too.
That's where I think we're going with this tag team. I feel like they are going to win the tag team titles, but they're going to be unlikely tag team champions, you know?
Now, if you're in the comments and you're enjoying SmackDown, you're enjoying the SmackDown Security Detail, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss have advanced into one of the four spots in the Evolution Tag Team Championship match. Obviously, one of the other teams are Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, who are a part of Judgment Day. But going back to Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, name this tag team. And we want to hear it from everyone in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
Now that is interesting. Noticing the trend that as soon as they do a segment, it goes right into that match. As the Fireflies are out in full, we are up with that 8-man tag. It is going to be the Wyatt Six going up against a member of each of the following tag teams: the Street Profits, DIY, Los Garza, and the Motor City Machine Guns. That's right, one representative of each team will go on to an 8-man tag against the Wyatt Six. And if the Wyatt Six are victorious, they will most likely get a future title opportunity against the Street Profits. And those representatives are Johnny Gargano, Montez Ford, Chris Sabin, and Berto.
I kind of like that we're in this phase now with the Wyatt Six where they don't necessarily feel like a special attraction anymore, but their matches still are special.
Well, I think a lot of people are looking at the nostalgia of it being the tribute to Bray Wyatt. We still have the old Bray Wyatt theme now. I think in that way it's still feeling special for some people, but yes, no, the wrestling acts that are Joe Gacy and Rowan and Uncle Howdy and even you guys got a nice little cover there by Joe Gacy and even Mr. That's funny.
Oh.
Dexter Loomis. They don't feel like special acts right now, and because of that, you still have that. But I mean, just like you were just moments ago glued into watching that entrance, it still holds a special meaning to you, just like it does for a lot of people. But I think the perception of the wrestling talents are now, okay, let's see how they grow from this.
Yeah. And to answer your question, Pete, he's asking why didn't Candice come out? Look who's at ringside with the Wyatt Six. If I'm Candice, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near ringside at this point.
Well, and sometimes you don't see Candice for the sole purpose of maybe, just maybe, this is her turn to try to attack Nikki. We've seen in the past Nikki being the one attacking Candice while she's been at ringside. I'm looking at maybe we see Candice LeRae try to attack Nikki.
Mm-hmm. Because this match could very well, and it's already looking like it could very well devolve into just a straight up brawl.
Yeah, and you have to wonder if you're going to see the counterparts to the rest of the tag teams, whether it's Garza, whether it's Ciampa, whether it's Alex Shelley, or a nice little kick there by Montez Ford. But yeah, if you even want to see Angelo Dawkins as well, like if you have to wonder, are you going to see those four come out in any way? Especially, I would even say, especially with Angelo Dawkins, because this match does have title implications, and you have to wonder if you're the tag team champions, whether it's Montez Ford in this match. Yeah, I think you do want to get as much familiarity with the Wyatt Six in the ring as you can, but you also want to make sure that you don't get that much damage, because by the case that your team does not succeed, you have to go straight back in that ring with a Wyatt Six at some point.
Yep. Sometimes I forget just for how big a guy Dexter Loomis is. He's very athletic.
Oh, yeah. I feel sometimes his athleticism also forgets just how big he can be. Because I feel like he might be just that extra athletic for a guy his size, but I think at some points his body almost forgets how athletic the rest of his body can be.
And the same honestly could be said for Angelo Dawkins, because he's a very, very tall guy.
Mm-hmm. But Angelo Dawkins definitely does not have the speed that Dexter Loomis has. And that is something that Loomis does have over him.
Mm.
Oh.
Well, did I say Angelo Dawkins? I meant Montez Ford.
Yep, you did.
I meant Montez Ford. Because he's a very tall guy, and it just the way he moves around the ring, he should be like the size of the 1-2-3 kid or Takamichi Noku or something like that.
I don't think Montez Ford is incredibly tall. And there we go. One of the first acts of dysfunction.
Yeah, I see it. Once Gargano just realized who he'd be going in the ring against. That scary strength of Rowan there, Jesus.
And that is in the books.
And I like that finish. I like that it wasn't Montez Ford who took the pinfall.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think too, like, you didn't get a proper finish with the Street Profits and Wyatt Six last week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the win with the Wyatt Six, you're going straight back to that in some way. You want to keep that feeling as special and fresh as possible.
So now I've got to wonder at what point do the Wyatt Six get their championship match?
I would say if we don't have it on an episode of SmackDown, I wouldn't be shocked if we wait 4 weeks and get it at SummerSlam.
I think I would be okay with that. Because how many matches do we usually get for Saturday night's main event? Like 4 usually, right?
4, maybe 5.
So like there's 2 matches already announced. And if you really want to build to it, yeah, you go to SummerSlam, because it does seem like it would be a bit fast to move to a tag title match right at at Saturday night's main event.
Well, that's just it. It's only a week away. So It is a week tomorrow. So it might be a little soon. And that way we could have, Machine Guns, DIY, something along those lines. We can get some sort of build, proper build. But speaking of people with No build needed. We have the women's world champion, Tiffany Stratton, coming down the ring. She is going to be choosing her opponent at Evolution.
This is interesting that they're giving her a choice for who she fights.
Well, they did do it to Cody. If you remember, not too long ago, Kevin chose KO. And that kind of, I believe that was at the Saturday Night's main event as well.
Yeah, and that's what led to, KO turning on his friend.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, there's 3 matches announced for the card. I forgot about the LA Knight Seth Rollins match.
I was giving you a chance to correct yourself this time.
Well, that match was announced while I was 6, so
Still happened.
it did.
And that's right. So Tiffany Stratton or whoever she faces at Evolution, the winner of that will be facing Jade Cargil at SummerSlam for that Women's World Championship. Out comes now your 2025 Queen of the Ring. No need to check the weather app. A storm is coming, and so is Jade Cargill as she is making her way down to the ring with an outfit inspired by the crown that she is now the proud owner of.
I mean, it makes sense for her to come out here because she does have a vested interest in this match that Tiffany's trying to put together.
Yeah, and she's in a very royal position, knowing that she gets the chance to just sit back and enjoy whoever it may be. And in case your Independence Day wasn't good enough and it needed some satisfaction with no fear, Trish Stratus is now here. Tiffany Stratton has offered Trish Stratus the opportunity to face her at Evolution for that women's championship. Question is Trish Stratus going to accept? So it's official at Evolution. Trish Stratus versus Tiffany Stratton for that Women's World Championship. And the winner goes on to face Jade Cargil at SummerSlam.
Mm. That's going to be a heck of a match. And I actually remember now, I knew somewhere along the line that tag match at Elimination Chamber was going to lead to them having a match somewhere down the line with Tiffany's title.
Well, I think, too, the whole idea of bringing back all eras for Evolution definitely has to be in the mindset. And Trish Stratus is one of the few remaining in-ring competitors from the Attitude Era. Now, there are a few others, but we will see if any more are added between now and next Sunday.
Well, I mean, one of the matches that's going to be on that card, there is going to be a women's battle royal. So,
and the winner of that battle royal will face a champion of their choosing at Clash in Paris. But happy 4th of July as Firaxium takes on Andrade and Rey Fenix. That's right. Not one of them are American citizens or American-born citizens. Backstage segment where we see Naomi attacking Jade Cargill, and Jade Cargill wants Naomi. Is this a matchup we're going to see in the upcoming weeks of SmackDown? Does it get added to Evolution?
I think the match could very well happen at Evolution.
As we have Andrade and Rey Fenix in the ring, what do you think about this tag team, and do you think it's going to play an impact on the tag team division on SmackDown?
I'm still not really sure what to make of this tag team because this is the second week that they've been a team. I do feel like at some point, yeah, they will make that impact on the tag team division. I guess we'll have to wait and see how this goes. I'm very curious about did they end up dropping the whole angle Andrade had with Berto and all that?
They haven't dropped it, but they haven't gone anywhere else with it. So I think it's just there in the background.
I'm beginning to, I'm leaning towards that way. It's probably just going to be something that they put on the back burner while the Las Garza has their reign with the AAA tag team titles.
Then you have to wonder if maybe there's going to be another AAA PLE or something along those lines where we do see a little bit more involvement with whether it's those Garza, those AAA tag titles. Also interesting to know both teams are represented by one man with a mask and one man without.
They're also represented by one man that used to wrestle with a mask and one man that used to wrestle without a mask. But I kind of knew going into this match that we were going to get some high-flying action out of this. And so far, this match is not disappointed in that.
Well, we're still very fresh in this match, but definitely seeing what every man is capable of. But we are seeing the smoothness and the quick transitions between Fraxium right now. You do have to give the experience in the tag team aspect to Fraxium. They are former multi-time NXT tag team champions. They have been together a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
But will that experience pay off when you have people like Andrade on one team who has the experience of being comfortable in just about any situation? And then you have the explosiveness of Rey Fenix and the athleticism there.
Yeah, and let's not forget, Rey Fenix can also adapt to any situation given to him as well. So, oh yeah, by the way, because I'm just looking at the announce table and seeing that Joe Tessitore is back on the announce table. I actually read an update on where Pat McAfee's been. He's actually taking time off because he's been burned out from doing a lot of everything that he's been doing.
Yeah, they actually mentioned that on Raw.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. And it wasn't even this past week. They've mentioned that in the past before.
Hmm.
They even showed like one of his videos explain or tweets saying that. But we do hope that he takes that time to do what he needs to, because Raw's just not the same without Pat McAfee and his energy.
I mean, if you look at it, I mean, the Pat McAfee's been a part of the WWE for the better part of almost 10 years. He has been going nonstop since then.
Well, it's been going nonstop, not always with the WWE.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he's the WWE. He's got college football, and I think he covers a little bit of NFL. Then there's his podcast.
Do you feel that spot's being very much overdone in tag matches? And that is, we see a pin with the partner remaining in the ring, and then somebody else comes and pushes the partner into the pin to break it up.
I feel like this is like the third or fourth time we've seen it tonight. I might be wrong on that one, but I got a commercial right now.
Yeah. Oh, weird. I don't have commercials.
I have a.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't feel like I don't think we've seen it 3 or 4 times tonight, but the fact that we see it so often doesn't make it feel special. And I think that's exactly where I was heading, into the sense of it just seems like it's overdone, especially when you have double babyface teams in a match.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay
I mean,
just to break up a pinfall once in a while.
and that was one of the things too because I used to be a tag team wrestler, and one of the things that we used to do is we used to come up with different ways to break up the pinfalls. If we knew that there was going to be multiple instances in the match where my partner or myself was going to run in and get the kick out, So we would come up with different ways each time so that we're not repeating the spot. And then if the next week we had to do that again, we'd be like, okay, what did we do last week? What can we do this week to make it different again? And conspicuous by his absence this week, no OMD. We won't be seeing OMD for a few weeks now.
Yeah, he's on an unpaid vacation.
Yeah.
He wanted all this time off, and then he's like, I want this week off. I want this week off. And we're like, okay, fine, you can have it. He's like, sweet. And we're just like, we just ain't paying you. He's like, oh. So he's been in the locker room ever since.
See it like that. There. That's a different way to split up the pin.
As Andrade picks up the win for his team, hitting the message on Nathan Frazier for the 1-2-3. Ray Phoenix is so happy. He dives over the barricade to hug a fan in the front row.
Just way too excited there, Ray.
Now we just got a segment between Aleister Black and Damian Priest, and they announced that next week we will see R-Truth versus Aleister Black on SmackDown. On Thursday during Brace for Impact, the notion of if Santana were to join WWE in the future, how would that be? And I said I would like to see him against him with the person I see on our screen, and that would be Jacob Fatu. But imagine a tag team between Mike Santana and Damian Priest.
I like that idea. I do. I might have to go back and rewatch that backstage segment, but for whatever reason, Aleister Black was giving me Karrion Kross vibes.
Yeah. I think he's kind of playing that in between, and you kind of see his point, right?
Mm-hmm.
R-Truth has gotten involved into his business, whether or not it's personal or not. It just is.
Mm-hmm.
He got involved. It affected R-Truth, and there we have it. We actually have the Street Profits going up against the Wyatt Six next week, as well as R-Truth versus Aleister Black. So already some power play hits going on for next week. So it's like another can't miss edition of the Smackdown Security Detail.
Is this SmackDown also going to be in Atlanta? Because it seems like everything's going to be in Atlanta next weekend.
I would assume so. I don't know. I don't have the calendar on me. There's only one calendar that I know, and we will play that for you a little bit later in the evening. Also, just want to let everybody know that this is a first 2-hour edition of SmackDown. First SmackDowns from the change. Moving forward, SmackDown will now be 2 hours long, as we have Jimmy Uso coming down as they get ready for their tag match.
And this is the main event already for us. Did that say Jade and Naomi at Evolution?
I believe so. Now we have Solo Sikoa and JC Mateo coming out. So we have Pete saying, "Here comes Rhino 2.0." Kind of see it, actually.
Yeah.
I think JC Mateo needs to grow like a full beard. like the whole thing.
I mean, literally, I thought the same thing when he was working in Japan under Jeff Cobb, under the name Jeff Cobb, and I want to say I saw him work a match with Rhino, but I can't quite remember.
Right now, WWE is showing us the events of Night of Champions where Solo defeated Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. We do know that Tonga Loa and the artist formerly known as Hikuleo, now I believe is known as Tala. Talatonga.
Yeah, Talatonga. Who I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw him, before it clicked in that it was Hikuleo, I thought it was Shanky.
And that's a reference nobody else will
remember.
Not remember, but
or will want to remember.
I think people wanted to respect Hikuleo a little bit more than that. Pete coming in saying could be in the same place at the same time. Rhino and JC. LOL. But yeah, no, just before we get into this match, just getting back to that Aleister Black segment, it's one of those things where Damian Priest is kind of putting his nose into business that really doesn't involve him. He was trying to play peacemaker with R-Truth. And because of that, is eating some of that emotion from Aleister Black. And I do think Damian Priest is guilty of bringing this upon himself a little bit. And I can understand Aleister Black kind of not caring about it because he did have business taken away from him by R-Truth. But I am interested to see this Aleister Black, Damian Priest, as well as the R-Truth match next week. We get back to our tag match as we have Solo and Jimmy Uso in the ring, a couple of actual brothers. Which is hilarious. We have one man with the last name Sikoa, the other man with the last name Uso. They are brothers with the real name Fatu. Yet he is on ringside as Jacob Fatu is a partner of Jimmy Uso.
So I'm not sure if I'm really putting two and two together with this one, but I was thinking about Solo Sikoa's name today. And through this, I was watching some Rikishi matches. And it occurred to me, Rikishi's real name is Solo. So I'm wondering if that's actually a tribute to his father, that he chose that name.
It is.
That's what I thought.
It is. I don't know why, but I'm kind of surprised that you didn't know that before. You'd be like the first person who I thought would have known that. Other than Bobby Stats, by the way.
Yeah. I'm on a commercial break again.
You got the American
and I'm back.
feed. Oh, that's great. What do you get a commercial?
I don't know. It was weird. Hasn't Jacob got about 20 children as well?
Yeah. Setting up for the next generation. Bloodline 3.0.
Speaking of setting up for the next generation, huge congratulations goes out to Roman Reigns, who welcomed his sixth child this week.
Dear God. He wants to match his WrestleMania main events with kids, doesn't he?
Yep.
Now we know why he gets paid so much. It's like that Expendables line.
I mean, he's getting close to Rikishi. Rikishi has like 8 kids too. So
Yeah. Don't they have television at home? I'm sure they do. They probably also have a large phone bill. I mean, if I had 6 kids, I'd probably be as vicious as Jacob Fatu.
yeah.
Well, I have one, so I'm pretty happy.
But I remember when The Rock showed that big screen with the family tree, and I'm like, oh, geez. Sometimes you forget just how big it is when you go to look it up.
That's what she said. But back to the match. Oh. This is where I miss Bobby giving us the rolling eyes emoji.
So I wonder when Jacob will get his rematch for the U.S. title.
I'd have to think SummerSlam. I can't see why it's not SummerSlam.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards SummerSlam too.
I mean, you got to fill out that. It is the first 2-night SummerSlam, so we know it's going to be a stack card.
Plus, I think the next match for Saturday night's main event will more than likely be announced this Monday on Raw. And
yeah,
I
I wouldn't mind a rematch between the New Day and Judgment Day for the tag titles.
That's where I was leaning towards, because I'm looking again at the card. It's all singles matches, no tag matches. But then again, last week, Night of Champions, we didn't have a single tag match on that card.
Nope, but we did get very heavily influenced tag team wrestling on both Raws and SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. Conspicuous by their absence, though, we don't see Tala or Tama at ringside at all.
Tamatala.
Yeah, exactly. The Tonga brothers, because they are brothers.
All right. Well, it's Tongatala, I guess, not Tama.
Right, Tonga Loa.
Yeah.
See, again, even when one of them's hurt, I still confuse who the both of them.
I just wanted to say Tamatala. Yeah, but
I got the finish on my end there. Jacob Fatu picks up the win with Jimmy Uso.
and hopefully now you are getting the aftermath that is becoming insane. That wasn't a tree, more like a forest, LOL, based off your family tree reference earlier.
Yeah.
But we're seeing a little bit of that family tree right now in the ring, as I'm sure you have got it now.
Yep. There, yeah. He just got choked off the ropes there by Tala.
There we go. That's a better explanation of what just happened.
See, this is what happens when I miss 2 shows this week. I feel rusty.
Rusty Rhodes.
Yeah.
Wow. I nicknamed you now. that is an interesting thing.
Oh, I see. Yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, for everyone, we saw a shield power bomb given by Tongaloa, JC Mateo, and Talalunga on Jacob Fatu through the announce table. Very, very much maybe tribute, maybe it's say what you will about it, but we know someone who's a member of a certain bloodline in the past who used to do said power bomb. I wonder if we see the big dog, our tribal chief, come back in any way. But wait, are you at the end of the show now, Best?
Yeah, I'm staring at my watch list right now.
Awesome. As we see turnbucklestudios.org, scroll on our bottom. We just want to let everybody know if you want to get more information about not only what we do around here, but also the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. Please check out turnbucklestudios.org. Again, you have a chance to get a little bit more information about everyone that you do see on screen. You have a chance to see all of the latest episodic shows that you see up in front of you. You also have a chance to email Turnbuckle Studios to get a chance to raise any comments, concerns, some curiosities. But then also, if you do happen to strike a nerve and want to pursue some attempts at the podcasting content creation, we have an opportunity for you to join the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program or even collaborate. So please go check out turnbucklestudios.org. And if you're wondering, Parrish, but what are the shows that you do? Well, I don't want to tell you. So
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m., followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Thursday we got total non-stop action with Brace for Impact at 8 p.m. Friday we game again with Unleashed, the Jessica Wilde story at 7 p.m. Following the game, join us for the Smackdown Security Detail at 8 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. On Sunday be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. followed by the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day.
And that is all of the visualness you can check out here at Turnbuckle Studios and the great Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. The only thing that you don't see there are specialty events like PLE Patrol that you will see for events just like Night of Champions, what you saw. What you will see for Saturday night's main event, even though technically it's not a PLE, it's an excuse for us to do it. So that's why we do it. But also for SummerSlam, that 2-night extravaganza. So you do want to check that out. That is all within the next 30 days, people. Plus, there's Evolution. So you want to also check out all of that. But best, where can everybody find you and what do you have going on? And please let us know what you thought of tonight's edition of SmackDown.
Oh yeah, tonight's SmackDown was just, I was worried about them going to 2 hours because I thought that they were going to cut out a lot of storylines that are going on right now on SmackDown. And frankly, I'm glad that they didn't do that. They managed to find a way to squeeze them all in, and it worked. This is a great show tonight. I really enjoyed it. But if you want to look for me, my link tree is linktr.ee/Chris_best83. You can look for me tomorrow night for some Saturday night gaming.
And for me, you can check me out over on my link tree at Chris Parrish. You can check me out in the next few weeks, potentially lurking around Beardcade YEG, located at 105 82nd Avenue in the Edmonton area. Please check out their Instagram, Facebook, and X account for more information and to support. What I liked about SmackDown today was the fact that we got a little bit more information about Evolution. We do know now who Tiffany Stratton will be choosing or has chosen to face, and that is the one, the only, the Hall of Famer, the 7-time women's champion, Trish Stratus. We did get another match with Naomi versus Jade Cargil at Evolution, as well as Alexa Bliss and Charlotte have advanced to that 4-way tag team championship match. On top of that, we got a lot of interesting developments with Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa and everyone involved. Looking forward to see what they do next. As that kind of transition to the 2-hour format, I really didn't think we got a fair shot of it today, seeing how it was a taped episode from Monday. That is why Monday Night Raw this past week was taped earlier, so WWE could give their talents a little bit of freedom, pun intended, around at this time. So a little interesting note that this was the one that was the pre-taped one, and I thought there were a little bit of some odd behaviors, like an in-ring segment with Jade and Trish, only to see a backstage right after to set up a match. I thought that was a little odd, but nonetheless, I am very intrigued to see what they do next week. And what I have coming up is in just 48 hours, less than 48 hours, you'll see the Chris Parrish podcast live on Sundays at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Time. You will get kind of a lot of my predictions for a lot of the upcoming, whether it's Saturday night main events or Evolution. Why? Because later that night, I will be taping the next episode of the Chris Parrish podcast with special guest, Ella J. She's going to be joining me, and we're going to be talking about a little bit more about women's wrestling and her thoughts of Evolution. That will be playing on the day of Evolution on the 13th of July. So make sure you want to check that out. And we also can't forget the man that is on vacation. We'll be nice to him today. You can go check out OMD on his link tree at linktr.ee. OMD show. Now, since OMD is not here, Best, how do we like to go out?
Well, I don't remember exactly OMD's words, but as the one and only, the legendary Carl Carafo would say, the world's a scary place. Take care of each other.